Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. My name is Uncle Solomon. So good to be with you. Wherever you're watching from, welcome. Please do make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and also like our videos and share and tag other people. I would also want to advise if you're looking for another source of income, which is YouTube, that offers quite a very great source of income, side gig, or a main job for a lot of people. I help people to create content, whether you're a church, a pastor, someone in ministry or in business, or you're an expert in certain areas. How you create the content is very important. That's why a lot of people do not make money from YouTube because they do not know exactly how to create the right content, good content that would attract the subscriptions and also the views. So get in touch with me on this WhatsApp number on the screen, +27 822 29438. For a very small fee, I would help train you, coach you, and also mentor you. Please do get in touch. A couple of days ago, I brought you the news of a pastor who was kidnapped. Um, uh, he was kidnapped at his church. From what we heard, gunmen came. They masqueraded as police officers, and they gained access, and they now arrest. They now took him um, and took him for 2 weeks, right? So he was released just I think yesterday or 2 days ago. He was released, and he made a video to state actually exactly what happened. Now, I must put a disclaimer that for me, this Pastor Heston Salange, he's originally from Malawi, but based in South Africa. For me, he's a charlatan. So let's get that right. I don't consider him as a genuine pastor. He's very good friends with Bushiri. I consider him a charlatan. Uh, so I would take his story, his own version of the story, with a pinch of salt. I would really question certain version of his story, right? But I'm glad that his life was spared. I'm glad that he was not harmed. I'm glad that they never took his life or anything, which is a good thing. Life, we have to put value on life, whoever we're dealing with, whether we agree with them or not agree with them. So I'm glad that he was the kidnapped pastor, that is Hastings Solange, was released. So when he was released, he made a video, and I want to play you the video now. I want you to listen to his story really, really closely. Again, I'm glad he was released, but for me, he's a charlatan. So I try to examine when charlatans or false prophets speak. I ask questions that normal people would not ask, right? I try to be critical of what they're saying. But let's listen to his version of the story after he was released. Here.
Hello, all our brothers, sisters, and friends from around the world. This is Pastor Hissing Saraj. I am sure you are aware that I was recently kidnapped. Indeed, I'm here to confirm that I was recently kidnapped on the 26th of November 2003 at 6 p.m. South African time. The people came while we had a meeting at our church offices and started shooting, asking me to follow them. In order to avoid bloodshed, I calmly followed them and entered into their car. While on the way with them is when I then discovered that they were kidnappers. And upon arrival at the place, they started demanding amount of 20 million rands, which is 2 billion kwacha, as a ransom for my release. Due to financial difficulties, at the moment, we were not able to raise such an amount of money, and hence they had me and entered into their car. While on the way with them is when I then discovered that they were kidnappers. And upon arrival at the place, they started demanding amount of 20 million rands, which is 2 billion kwacha, as a ransom for my release. Due to financial difficulties, at the moment, we were not able to raise such an amount of money, and hence they had me for 2 weeks. After negotiations, we managed to raise a large amount of money, which we cannot disclose for security reasons. And I was released last night at around 11 p.m. During the 2 weeks, I was kept handcuffed, masked, and I could not eat, only drinking water until last night after I was released. I have got some wounds, which I can show you right now to show you that I was handcuffed. If you can see here on my hand, you can see the wounds that I was handcuffed. I've got some wounds in the body, but these are the ones that I can only show you. And here is another wound. You can see here. This is to show you that I was handcuffed for 14 days and masked for 14 days. I would like to thank all of you for your prayers during this time, and it was because of your prayers that I was released. Apart from the ransom that I was paid, I would like also to thank Prophet Bushiri for helping us with the 50,000 rands, which at the moment is the help that we have received so far for that. Thank you very much, Prophet. I and my family, as well as the church, we have decided to forgive the kidnappers, and we will not be taking any action in terms of bringing them to justice. To those that are coming for crossover service at the Garaka Convention Center, I would like to inform you that we are going ahead with the service and get ready for greater exploits. This situation has encouraged us to love God more, as well as to work for God more. Thank you very much for your time and for your support. I have seen love from different places, brothers in Malawi, sisters in Malawi, our parents, whatever, fathers around South Africa and around the world. I would like to thank you very much for your support. It is through your prayers, your noise that you made, that helped me to be released from the kidnappers. Once again, I want to show you that I was indeed kidnapped, and here are the wounds. Here are the wounds, and also here are the wounds. Thank you very much. I would like to speak also in my language, Chichewa, for the sake of other people in my country, so that they can hear from my native language. Habari ndalongo kumalawi ndifuna ndikuthokozeni kwambiri fighters wose tinambiri simadzorobi dziko litakuvuta kudusa muzongo ndinachoka 2006 ndikachoka 2006 ndinabwi mumanyoza asitumika mungu yang'anani ku Zimbabwe mina kama lemekezera asitumika yang'anani ku Zambia mina kama lemekezera asitumika yang'anani maiko ena na
Okay, so that's him there speaking in Chichewa. I hope you got the gist. So there are a lot of discrepancies around this whole thing. The first thing is he's scripted this whole thing, right? You're writing a script. You just came out of 2 weeks of kidnap. You can share a whole lot of things there. It's simple, right? So you scripted everything. And then he's trying to show us where he was handcuffed and sort of like the wounds around there. And you notice he didn't really come to the close to the screen or really show us that. I don't believe that. For me, I don't buy that. I have to see that to believe it. He wasn't fed for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks. And he's a big man. And I don't believe that he wasn't fed for 2 weeks except for water. right? And secondly, also, he paid a ransom to get his freedom, right? Good. He paid a ransom. And then secondly, he now said he forgiven the people and he wouldn't want to follow up the case. I have a problem with that. You can forgive people, but still follow up the case for justice. Because by so doing, God is a God of justice. Justice is who God is. I can forgive you, but there are consequences for things. Because if these guys are career criminals or kidnappers, you would want to stop them from doing that to another person again. So you were doing that, you're not going to follow through. So you want these kidnappers to actually target another pastor because they're going to be paid. You paid an amount of money. You didn't disclose the money that you paid, but you disclose how much they asked you first time. They asked for 20 million. So his whole script is just sort of like not really straightforward. Again, this guy is a charlatan. And I don't trust him. Bushiri gave him money, he mentioned. Bushiri gave him 50,000. So he's hanging out with people like Bushiri. You see, there are charlatans that stage all these things. He'll sit down and like, what can I do to bring attention to myself and to my so-called church? Nobody, I'm not sure anybody has ever staged kidnapping in South Africa, a pastor staging a kidnapping incident. That way you're going to draw sympathy. Maybe he thought it was going to be all over the media, on TV, and just everywhere. Just to draw the attention. Because now the attention is on him. So I don't buy that story. I don't buy that whole kidnap thing. Probably he kidnapped himself. The level and the extent to which charlatans could go for marketing and publicity, you would not believe it. So I do not buy that. And he was using that same video to promote his crossover service. Yeah, this guy, he better get serious. That's all I can say. He better get serious. But anyway, we can believe what we believe, isn't it? Thank you so much. See you later.